Welcome back to a new one on this channel. In this one, we need to talk about the 16 levels, which is the button that you have right there. If you didn't notice, this is the chapter number 9. Check the cards or the links at the description to find the other chapters. And if you like what I do and you would like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And if you have the money and you want to buy me a coffee to say thanks, you can. You also have links at the description. Okay, so 16 levels, which is something we didn't discuss on the previous episodes. It's very simple, but at the same time, you have a lot of different options. Some of them are, again, simple to understand, and some other options are not. If I go back to main and play something, there is no sequence going on. But if I go here, I have a drum and then I have nothing else. Now, when you press the 16 levels button, it's going to give you this screen and the pad colors will change, and it will change depending on what you're doing here. And this is the main point of this. You have a lot of options. You have velocity, you have tune, then you have filter, layer, attack, decay, probability, ratchet, and I'm going to be explaining what all of this, what all of these options can do. First, I'm going to go to velocity. I'm going to stay right there on velocity. And notice that when you do so, it's going to give you a pad, which is the pad that it was selected when you press the 16 levels. If I maybe press a different pad and now I go to the 16 levels, it's going to be a different pad. But if you go there, you can select a different pad. Now, the main point with the velocities is that you can, when you play, you can play the sound at different velocities. If I go down, notice it's super quiet. As you go up, it's going to be louder and just louder and louder. If you record this, I'm going to start. I guess I have no count. I'm going to go back to 16 levels, and whatever I do right here is going to record it with different velocities. And of course, you can get out of here and just go to your grid, go to your automation, and notice that it's recording the different velocities. And for now, I'm just going to undo and go back. A lot of samplers have this function, and it's a pretty common function just to enable and just to record on the fly with different velocities. This is not very groundbreaking. If I go to the other ones, I'm going to go maybe first to the filter. And this one is a little bit different. You don't have this on all the different samplers. I'm going to stay on the filter and I'm going to close this maybe. I'm going to go, I'm going to go to this one, which is just the bass. If I go there, is the filter, and it's selecting my, my pad. Now, maybe you're wondering which filter. If you go right here at the bottom, you have the program edit. So this is the, of course, edit of the program that is playing the sample. If I go to envelopes and I keep tapping, at some point, we're going to find the filter. And if you're wondering, dude, you never explained this this screen, which is the program edit, don't worry, I will in a couple of episodes. So right here, if I go to the filter and I go down, the pads, instead of messing with the velocity, and I'm going to make it really obvious, instead of messing with the velocity, it's going to mess with the filter. So I'm going to do, I guess that's fine. I'm going to go here just to make sure that you see it. So now, as I go down, it's going to, and right here we can hear the resonance. This, what it does is it will scale or go up or down and down on the actual cutoff filter. And right here, since I have a lot of resonance, it's super obvious. Right here is way too low, it's cutting too much, and right here is way too open. So this is what it does. Now, pretty simple, right? So then you have the filter. If I go, the attack and the decay. Since this one is messing with the filter, the other one, the attack and decay, it will mess with the envelope. First, I'm going to go maybe to the attack, and I'm going to go back to the program edit, and I'm going to get rid of what I did with the filter, so we get what we had from before, and the resonance all the way down. Cool. So if I play it now, it's going to sound like this. If I go to the envelope, keep tapping, at some point you're going to find the amp envelope. I'm going to go back, and we are still on the 16 levels. And I want you to notice what's going on. It's super quiet. So what this does is going to mess again with the attack. Right now we have like a like going up or ramping up in volume. As we go down, we get closer to the original sound. Now, all of these options may not super handy for pretty much everything, but this is what it does. This one is super cool. It's the decay. So the decay is the same idea, but it's going to mess, instead of with the attack, it's going to mess with the decay. And right now, the sample I'm using, it's not super long, but it's, it's long enough. So notice it's super short now. As I go down, the decay will be longer until we get close to the original sample. Yeah, this is actually super useful. If you have something super long and you don't want to adjust the envelopes manually, go to the 16 levels, and you can record it like this without messing with the envelopes. Okay, so the velocity, super simple. Then the filter, the attack, and the decay, again, super simple. Then you have probability, and then you have ratchet. Before I go there, I want to show you something else. I'm gonna maybe stay on the velocity because it's just pretty obvious. So right now I am using the bass. I'm working on the bass. I have the 16 velocities for the bass. What if I want to choose a different pad? You kind of need to get out of this screen, maybe select a different pad and go back. That's just one way to do so. You can go right here and just select the pad with the encoder, right? So this is another way to do this, or you can go uncheck the active, so you're disabling the 16 levels while you are on the 16 levels, and then you can choose whatever it is that you want and then just activate again. Now I'm gonna go to the ratchet, and maybe you're gonna see what this will do. In this case, I'm gonna deactivate it. I guess I'm gonna go to the snares. I'm gonna active, and this will give us a ratchet. If I play 1, it's gonna be 1. If I keep going up, at some point, it's gonna give us more triggers. So it's re-triggering the same sample multiple times. Right, so again, it's just giving you a ratchet. Now, of course, all of this is something that you can record, just like we did with the velocity. I'm going to go to the other one, the probability, and this is just probability. If I play it, this one, it will always play. This is the 100%. As we go down, it's going to go down at the percentage, and at some point, this is, I guess, almost 50%, but that sometimes it's playing it and sometimes it's not. It's because you're going down in probability. If I go here, well, it will maybe never play. Maybe here. There you go. So now it's just like 30%, or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. Like I said before, all of this can be recorded, even the probability. I'm gonna play start, and I'm gonna be playing on different ones, and then you can see that you can edit this. If I go to main, and then I go here, and I open the automation, if I go to the probability, notice that we have different probabilities, which is what I did right here, right? And even on this screen, we can still use the 16 levels because it's, still on. Okay, so I'm going to be recording just a kick and a snare. I'm going to get out of the grid recording, and I just want to record a kick and a snare. And okay, so I have a kick and a snare. What I want to do, I want to record the bass. I want you to do that. The thing is that since you're using a sampler, this is just a drum program, you're not using a plugin, you cannot record pitches. If I go to shift, I have this selected, I go to pitch, and I go to 16 level because at the bottom is notes. It's just the same. I get nothing because this is playing a sample. Now this sample, it's tuned to C. Now the 16 levels, when you go to the one that says notes, what it will let what it will let you do, it will let you play different pitches of the same sample. Right now it says A7 because it's the bass, but you can select other samples, of course. And then right here it says original pad. I'm going to tell you what that is in a minute. But right here, once we enable this, we can record whatever is that, we want to. Again, remember this is a drum program, it's not a plugin. Cool. So this is what we can do. Now, maybe you're wondering what the F is the original pad. Well, our pad, our sample was C, right? So this is the original pad. This is the pitch of the original pad. When you go right here, it says that the original pad, or the original pitch, is on the A4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, is this the same pitch? Well, it's because, it's there. But you can, if you want, you can offset the location of the original sample, original pitch. So now is this one. And now this one, it's just, completely up to you, because right here you can go more up or you can go lower. You can go higher and lower. It's completely up to you, right? It's just, what you want to do. If maybe you want to go to A16, that's the original pitch, and now you can go only but down. But by default, it's going to be on the 4. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, so great, I don't need plugins. Well, the plugins, they give you, it's a different tool. When you're using a sample, the sampling engine is going to detune the pitch in some fashion. And sometimes, the sound is going to break a little bit or not, depending on what you're doing. But with this, we can even go maybe to, and I guess this is the hats. And I guess for this, it's just great. We can record different pitches of maybe something a little bit more percussive. That it's not gonna, it's gonna break a lot if we pitch up or down. If I wanted to record a bass, I would go to a plugin. But still, if you're doing something simple, you can use the sample and just use what we've been using. This bass. And I guess I recorded something, I guess? Yeah, we did. When you record like this with the drum program and you record different pitches, if I go to the grid and I'm gonna get this down, this is the bass. We have a note on a single place. You cannot edit this. It's gonna be pitching up and pitching down each event behind the scenes. So this is like automation, let's say. But it's not really automation. All of this you can edit, but you cannot edit it from here. What you will need to go is to go to a very special place. And there we go, list edit. And I know how this looks. It looks crazy, because it is crazy. So this is a different way of creating a sequence. Just a different way. Right here you see all the events, the time on where the events are just happening, which pad is being played, the length, the velocity of the event. And in our case, we want to find the bass. And notice that right here it says tuning all over the place. And then it's just providing the value of how much is going up or how much is going down. So right here, we can maybe go here, just edit, and I'm gonna do something like that. And there we go. So I'm editing the value of the note manually in this case. So this is where you would go to edit your sequence if you recorded something like this. So what I'm telling you with this is that when you do something like this, you need to go through the list edit. And again, I will upload a video talking about the list edit. My recommendation is, if you're going to be doing something like this with a sample where you require to go up and down in pitch, try not to do it on a kit where you have 1 million samples and you're doing, you're recording 1 million events. Just create a new program, go right here, create a new program only with that sample, and then work just with that sample. So then when you need to edit and you go to the list edit, you're not going to find a lot of different events that got nothing to do with that sample. you will only find events that got to do with the sample, right? That's the plan. It's a way just to make it easier to edit if you need to. Now then, the other one, it's going to be the layer. And in this one, again, I need to do a little bit more explaining. I'm going to go there. I'm going to stay there. And maybe I'm going to select the A1, which is a kick. So remember, kick and then layer. And I'm going to get out of here. Make sure that you select the kick. And I'm going to go to the program edit, this button that you have right here at the bottom. So when you go to the program edit at the top, it's going to show you, or you can, see which pad you're editing. I'm going to go back to the kick. And right here, when you go to samples, you're going to get this screen. What you can do right here is to go to the layer 2, 3, 4, or even the 1 if you're using an empty pad. And you know what? I'm going to use an empty pad. I'm going to use the A8, which is completely empty. So for this one, if I want to place something, I need to select, I don't know, a sample, whatever. I'm going to be selecting that one, right. And I'm going to go to the other ones, and I'm going to select something else. I'm going to go there, select a clap. I'm going to select, I don't know, a bass. On this one, it's going to be pretty wild. And the snare, right? So we have a lot of different samples. So now I'm going to be playing the pad, and I'm doing it. So there you go. If I play it, we are playing the 4 layers at the same time, right? This is what this does. We are just stacking layers. Okay, so why am I showing you all of this? The thing is that you can, with the 16 levels, control, this is why it says layer, what is going to be playing behind the scenes. But you need to do a little bit of configuration. I'm going to get out of this screen, and I'm going to stay on the program edit. I'm going to go here to the samples. I'm going to tap once. I'm going to tap twice. So at some point, you're going to reach this section, which is the third one, and you will see something that says vel and then end. Now, since we are layering sounds, whatever velocity we press with the pads is going to trigger different layer, or maybe a different layer. So for example, I'm going to keep this one all the way up, and we can do this with the Q links. I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to make it lower. I'm going to go to the next one, and maybe not that much. I'm going to make it around there. It doesn't matter. And then this one is going to be even lower. So higher, lower, lower, and lower. The 16 levels is off. Now, if I play soft, maybe you can hear all the samples. Maybe. If I play hard, there's that I just get one. Which is going to be the one we decided that it should be really high in volume, which is the ride. At some point, we get the ride and clap and a little bit of the bass. Now, what's the point of this? If I go to the 16 levels, make sure that you have layer selected. And this is going to be a little bit different from the velocity. It's similar at the same time, but a little bit different. If I play this and I'm playing soft, I could play hard and we get it. But, we are just getting the ride. As I keep going down, and I'm playing really hard. Notice that we are not going down in velocity, and we are getting the combination of the layers. Right? And at this point, I guess we get the rest of the layers. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, so what's the difference with velocity? If I go to velocity, and even if I make it full level, this is going to kind of disregard the full level. If I play soft, it's going to be always hard. And if I play hard, it's hard. As I keep going down, it will go down in velocity of the playback of the sample. And notice how it goes down in volume, because at the same time, we are triggering the different samples based on velocity, but it goes down in velocity too. The other one doesn't care about velocity. It will always be whatever it is that you press, or maybe full level or not, but it's triggering the layers, the different layers. And that's the main difference between layer and velocity. And it was a little bit confusing for me too at the beginning, but once you get the idea, you get it. If you want to mess with velocity, well, then use velocity. If you want to just mess with the layers, doesn't matter the velocity, then use layers. And okay, so that's it. We covered all the features from the 16 layers. If you liked all of this, remember to please like the video and subscribe if you can. And if you have the money and you want to buy me a coffee just to say thanks, you can. You have links on the description for PayPal, YouTube Thanks, and Patreon.